What's good, my brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm exhausted, but I feel good. How you feeling, man?
I ain't gonna keep you too long. Then. Listen, real quick.
You good? You good?
Announcement, man. Hitman Holla, Ill Will RBE. What's your take on that battle, man?
Great matchup. Great battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ill Will is very deserving of that matchup. He was really good against Hollow. He's been really good for a long time, obviously, and has, battled the best in the business. So watching Ill Will's ascension into kind of that God tier level, I think is definitely he deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's put in the work. So to see him have Hollow and Hitman back to back, I think it's an extraordinary thing. Salute to Hitman for not being afraid to come outside and put his rep on the line against another, you know what I'm saying, very hungry, very dangerous opponent right after the easy battle. Great matchup. I don't know if that's the headline or the main event.
Who do you like, sir? Who do you like, Mr. Jones?
Who I got? I feel like Ill Will's more versatile. Ill Will's freestyle ability is very dangerous in matchups like these. With Hollow, I felt like skill set wise, it was kind of more even.
Okay.
Hollow freestyle, Ill Will freestyle. They both take really good angles. They both can be funny. They can go in and out of any bag that they want at any time. Hitman, obviously, from a performance standpoint, is maybe the best ever. I don't know if he has the same freestyle ability as Ill Will. I don't know that he has the same angle ability as Ill Will. This might be a bad matchup for Hitman, and Hitman is. I hold Hitman in a very high regard, higher regard than Ill Will in terms of like my all-time favorites.
Okay.
But style-wise, and styles make fights. This is a dangerous match for Hitman. I might go Ill Will 2-1.
Okay, Ill Will 2-1. Okay.
I might go Ill Will 2-1. But yeah, I mean that's a great matchup. Salute to RBE.
Are you ever gonna touch that blue room, sir? You would be crazy.
I'm definitely willing to I'm willing to go anywhere, at this point in my career.
Right.
ARP has definitely reached out a number of times, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna act like he hasn't made the effort to try and get me over there. A lot of it has been timing. But he's definitely tried to get me over there a bunch of times, and we're definitely in touch, and hopefully we can make something happen, in the next, probably not this event, but maybe an event coming up.
Okay. Well, talk to me about you and Mr. Klutz, man. How do you feel about the battle? Do you feel it was battle of the night?
Yes, I feel like it was battle of the night. I feel like it was best back and forth for the night. Respectfully, none in Deal was a good battle. Danny and Saflare was a good battle. I didn't like the 3-on-3 going into it. I didn't like the 3-on-3 the way it turned out. I think it's a stupid fucking layout.
I agree.
But yes, I do think me and Klutz was battle of the night. I do think it was the most competitive. I do think it was the best back and forth. I do think it had probably the most moments, or the highest moments.
Mm-hmm.
Very few dry spots, very few like low moments. It to me it was like I felt like every round was better than the round before it, from both of us. So I do think me and Klutz was battle of the night, as I expected.
I see the staff applauding you for giving Klutz a shot, though.
Absolutely,
as they should, right?
It's and I've said this to you before, and I say this all the time, like. It was DNA who gave me a shot. It was Clips who gave Magic a shot. And that is the way you usher in new stars into top tier, mid tier, wherever they're going to end up. That's how you usher them in. That creates more matchups, which creates more cards, which creates more money, which creates more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's how you keep the culture going. that's how you avoid having to rematch people 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times, which I hate to see, personally. It has to be done, and I wish more top tiers were willing to do it, and more top tiers did it more often, because so often it seems like it's John, DNA, JC, Chilla Jones, Danny Myers, and maybe like one or two other people who are constantly given the PG Crucible low mid-tier guys an opportunity to step up. But that's how you keep things fresh, and that's how you keep things going. It's a necessity, but I definitely appreciate the appreciation from the URL staff, because obviously they realize, like, we don't have to say yes to these battles. We don't have to, decide to take these guys. I've done enough in my career where I can just be like, you know what, I don't want to be the gatekeeper no more.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like I told you when I was on here before, like, I believe in Klutz. Klutz has an incredible pen. Klutz has an incredible skill set. And so, I'm happy to be a part of his resume. I'm honored to be a part of his story as he progresses, and as he eventually, in my opinion, will go on to become one of the best pens that we've seen.
Wow. I want to talk about your high praise. You asked for him 1 second, though. Be honest. His name is Cortez, right?
His name is Cortez Scott. Yes, sir.
Tell the truth. Once you found that out in your writing, you did the Birdman rub. Because core, you know he was about to go in that.
Yeah, yes and no. Remember, I've battled Cortez.
Yes, you have. Like, yes, you did.
So I've gone down the rabbit hole of, like, core flips, or like, different innovative ways to attack that as a name. However, Pendulum Inc. and having to teach advanced writing has kept me honest about utilizing every tool that I know, right? So, like, when I battled Tez, it was like maybe 2016.
Yes.
And although writing wise, I probably knew all the same techniques that I know now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 6-7 years younger, 6-7 years less experience, and so I didn't have as much insight and as much kind of like intuition in regards to, like, how to attack. You know what I'm saying? I know how to flip a name, but as I'm teaching certain techniques to my students in class, all these battles is lessons. These are lesson plans. I pull these battles up in class and be like, yo, watch this. You can see the shit that I'm teaching you working in real time, in real battles, in real songs and freestyles. Like, I'm not teaching you the Pythagorean theorem that you learn in 10th grade and you never lose it again in the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm teaching you techniques that the greats use. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard his name was Cortez, honestly, it was hard for me to name flip Klutz. And so when I heard his name was Cortez, I was like, let's go. That will open up some doors for me. But overall, I did have some more core flips that didn't make the battle. I tried to only take the best ones. But it definitely helped in the writing process.
I interviewed Klutz about an hour ago. He said he couldn't stand that.
The core flips?
He said he couldn't stand it, yes.
It happens, man. It happens.
Oh, man. Let me ask you about his first round, because he broke out his first round to me, right? What was your take on his first round with the jacket on? And he told me, before you go, he had 6 layers in his first round. So basically standing next to you or sitting down, then got close to his chair. Like, he broke down, the way he broke down his first round, strategically. I don't know, dude. You might be careful, Chilla. Somebody might get this man the first round, though, son. I got you 2-1. But what do you think about his first round?
I thought it took too long. And I thought that in the building, I haven't watched any of his.
Before you go to the building, he said the building, it was 2-0 in the building. Again, that's what he told me.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get to that. In the room, For me, it was too long.
Okay.
Pause. The approach was too drawn out, and if you go through my first, I end my first with the line that says
the man is quickly line.
Yes, it
That was
says
crazy.
I'm the blueprint, but your line's too drawn out to do damage against me. If you don't back up your point in the nick of time, you better find a manual quickly. So my whole point that I'm saying to him, and the whole point of my first round was, look how quick I get to my punch. Look how quick I make the crowd react. Look how quick I am attacking, right? That was the whole point of my first round. So him going into this whole kind of like setup, lead up, where he's having to put on the jacket and do this breakdown. Am I getting warmer? Am I getting warm? Like it was a dope approach, but for me it was long-winded, and it left me, especially in comparison to my round, I'm hitting you every 5 seconds. Bang, bang, bang. Quarter, bang. Did I do that? Bang. Stephon, bang. Like every 1 or 2 bars, I'm hitting him. So for him to have that, for him to go after me and have that kind of like, let me put on this jacket. Okay, so you're going to do this. It didn't work for me. Now I understand it worked for the fans. In the building, it worked for the fans, and a lot of fans did have him up 1-0 after the first. That's cool. I don't even care what happens in the building. You know how I am. The camera tells all.
Because everybody says you fight back going into your second round.
Yeah, because he went second, but B, like I said, you know, people felt like he won the first. You know, all of his rounds were longer than mine, but on top of that, you know, he got the last word, which, you know, in battles that are even, that's kind of how it works. You know, which is fine. Right. So for me, going into the second, I felt like I was up 1-0.
Okay.
Having heard what he did, having understood his angle, you know, I'll have to watch his interview to see, you know, maybe I guess what layers I might have missed or what may have gone over my head. But I had myself up 1-0 going into the first. The second round, I felt like I responded really well. I responded with the angle about you got it made and don't know it.
The paperwork straight line, that was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about how they got it made because they can take losses and still get big names right after, i.e. Saflair and Foots losing the DNA and John, and then a month later Saflair is Danny. Right? Like that's in my day, like we discussed on here.
Right.
You lose clear, you either not on URL or they sitting you down for a minute.
Remember the days you had to win battles.
Yeah, I remember the days you had to win battles. You know what I'm saying? So like, I thought my second round approach was right on point. My second round fired back. His second round was also really, really good. People in the go ahead.
No, your second round, that PSP, people from URL, they're gonna learn with the handheld.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It's stuff like that for me that holds more weight than the stuff he does, because the stuff he was doing in that round was more like I mean, it's all hypothetical, right? Like a lot of the stuff we say, oh, I'm gonna run up in your crib and I'm gonna do like all of that is cool if you're doing that against each other. But if I'm speaking on something that's like, I'm speaking about battle rap culture, I'm still attacking you. When I'm speaking about how things have changed, and I'm still attacking you. And you speaking about like hypothetical situations and building them up to attack me. For me, the substance matters, right? So like, for me, I had it 1-1 going into the third.
Yes, he said to me, I don't know how you feel about this. I told Klutz, I like his second round was my favorite round from him. He said it's his first round.
I thought his second round was his best round.
Me too, his best round in my opinion.
I thought his second round was his best round, personally.
Right. So chill.
Yeah.
Talk about your third round, man. The most controversy. What's going on? Is it controversy? What's going on, Chilla?
It's a lot of controversy because I've been getting tweeted and cussed out all day.
Wow.
Over my approach because I guess my approach went over a lot of heads, right?
Some people saying distasteful, Chilla.
I think what's happening, 3, is a lot of people are. I think a lot of people who haven't seen the battle are either hearing hearsay from other people or are reading captions or whatever the case without judging. Because I've seen fans and battlers alike be like, "Oh, I heard Chilla was, being disrespectful to the dad, or Chilla was doing whatever," and then I heard the angle and I said, "Oh, he's holding Klutz accountable for a contradiction from his last battle." And so once they hear it, they get it. But it's one of those things where if you didn't see the battle and you haven't seen the clip from the battle that's going viral right now on Twitter, and you're just hearing in spaces or through tweets, "Yo, Chilla, you disrespecting the dead," like I get it because and I explained this to Elijah earlier on Twitter, Elijah Straight, like I don't condone disrespecting the dead. In 100 battles, I've never done it, and I never would.
Right.
I would never cross that line, right? And that's exactly the premise that my angle is based around, because I thought it was disrespectful for Klutz to use the dead for an angle to win a battle. That's the whole point of my angle. Don't use a loved one who has passed away as a way to get battle rap reactions. That was the point of my angle, right? So for everybody that's fake upset at like my approach or what they think my approach is, that energy is misdirected.
Wow.
All my angle is saying is, yo, you told us you can't even stand to hear about cars. You can't stand to hear Tay-Rock's seatbelt line. You can't stand to hear Twerk say he's strapped in because it brings you pain because of a tragedy that you went through. And you know what? I feel that. But you can't be a car salesman in real life and tell me that. Because that's like me saying, man, my girl died in a plane crash, and I can't even think about airports or planes or getting on planes. But I'm a flight attendant for Delta. Like what would y'all think?
Because before I saw people saying on Twitter as the battle's going on, if I'm Klutz, I'm asking for the fade. I'm like, wow, that's what we got with it? Asking for the fade, right?
Yeah, that's a little much, and I think that people are simplifying the angle, right? People are simplifying it to Chilla is bringing up Klutz's dead, Klutz's loved one, and that's not cool. That's where they're at with it. That's the simplified version. Instead of listening and being like, oh, you know what? He doesn't disrespect Klutz's loved one at all. He disrespects Klutz for using the loved one as an angle to win a battle. It's really that simple. I understand why people are outraged who haven't seen the battle and who have just heard whatever they've heard. But there's no way you can watch that round or watch that clip of my angle and feel like I crossed the line or did something wrong. That's not what I do. Look at my track record.
Absolutely.
Look at my history. I am one of the classiest, most tasteful, respectful, honest, genuine MCs in battle rap. It was never an intention to disrespect the dead, and I spoke to Klutz privately and expressed that, and you know, he understood.
I asked him about that. He didn't really have a big gripe. He didn't go crazy about that at all. He didn't like, oh man, I think he understands.
Yes, he totally does. The world is outraged for him, and I get it. He's a nice guy. But if the same thing happened to me, I think people would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? People would be like, yo, Chilla don't mess with nobody. Like, why would you take that approach? But
let me ask you this: when you were crafting your third round, right, and before you get the Masters hearing, of course, were you worried about at all, like, yo, our people don't take this kind of, you know what I mean?
I was, because unfortunately, I know how the culture could be in terms of, like, for instance, people say, yo, Chilla, you snitched on Tay-Rock about him cheating with Lady Caution.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you know what's funny is I didn't say anything in that round that wasn't public knowledge or posted on OTFMZ already.
Mm.
I didn't. Everything I said in that round was public knowledge. I didn't expose anything new. Right? Like, so when people say that to me, I'm like, okay, clearly that went over your head, right? Like, clearly that went over your head. When people have a problem with this angle, I'm like, okay, I know how the culture is. This is gonna go over your head. The thing that confuses me, the thing that bothers me is these is the same people that will sit and wait for Easy to go live for a week because they're so interested in gossip and drama and negativity and all random fucked up things.
Mm.
But when they think I did something disrespectful that I didn't, it's an issue. It's weird, right? And I said this on Twitter. JC, Surf can tell JC, I'll make a movie out of your precious mother. JC just lost his mom's, within a couple of months of the Surf battle. Surf can directly address his mother in a bar. Nobody says anything.
Yeah, Klutz spoke about that also. I forgot what he said. But he said the same thing you said about that. I forgot what he said.
It's weird. It's weird. Like, I personally don't get it. But at the end of the day, just to be clear with everyone, I do not mean or intend to disrespect the dead. It's not what I do. Please listen to the angle. Listen with intention. The point of the angle is me holding Klutz accountable for having a contradiction in his round about how he feels about cars and being a car salesman, and about using the dead to his benefit to win the third round against JC. No disrespect to the dead intended, just to be clear for everybody to hear.
Let me ask you a question. In the first round, when Klutz said the bitch nigga thing, and you had like a smile on your face, was there a smile on your face because you know exactly? I watched it
because my third round, man. Like, if you watch the Jonai battles to say smile. He says Mario whistleblower behind the scenes, and I look at Shotty and I go, I got something for that. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, man. People talk about pins all the time, and I say this all the time. My counter writing is the best in the world, dog. I counter write better than anybody else in the world. I know your steps before you take them. I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. I can address it before you do. I can wait for you to do it and let you fall into the trap, but my counter writing is impeccable. There's only a few anywhere near me when it comes to counter writing. Easy is an incredible counter writer. Hollow is an incredible counter writer. Those are the only two to me in my stratosphere when it comes to being able to predict how my opponent is going to attack me.
Is it too early to give Klutz a top 10 pen game, Chilla? Too early for that.
I don't mind people saying that it's too early because the longevity isn't there, right? Like I'm 100 battles in. JC is probably like 70, 80 battles in. Danger Zone, Lux, Nitty, Danny.
Gotta get your weight up.
40 bars, Big Cannon, Elijah Strait. There's a lot of very, very talented pens that are active. The thing I like about Klutz, the thing I like about Klutz's pen is that he understands things now in his third or fourth URL battle that I feel like it took most of us 8, 10, 12 URL battles to figure out, right? Like, even if you look at his battle versus JC and then his rounds against me, there's a huge leap of progress. There's a huge leap of, like, I'm listening to him rap and I'm like, he's still a little long-winded, but you know what? His pace is a little faster. I'm hearing that. His performance, he's more comfortable. He's moving around. He's sitting on the stage. He's doing certain things. I'm like, okay. Like, he's figured a lot of it out. I can tell he's got, probably 1 or 2 people in his corner who are coaching him on certain things. Like, I can see it. But if Klutz stays active and continues to progress at the same rate, it's going to be really hard. By the end of this year, it's going to be really hard to name 10 pens who are clearly better than his.
Well, I asked him, I said, is it time for you and Kid Chaos? His response to me was, he wants to chill with the pens for a little bit. He wants T-Top and Jack Boy.
Very dangerous battles for him, in my opinion.
T-Top, right?
T-Top is very dangerous against pens. T-Top and JC, T-Top and Nitty.
Wow.
Self-checkout.
Self-checkout, yeah.
T-Top is scary against pens, especially on a bigger stage. I don't fault Klutz for wanting those battles, and I do think it's time for Klutz to battle other skill sets because that will help him develop in more of an all-around game. I would stay away from T-Top though. There's certain people I would stay away from. I would stay away from T-Top. I would say if I were him, I would stay away from T-Top. Him and Jack Boy, I think, would be Jack. That's more his speed, I think.
He also said to me that going into the battle, he was worried about you more than JC. But after the battle, he said JC gave a better fight than you.
I mean, I guess we'll see what the app says. I won pretty.
He's a confident young cat. He's a very confident.
I haven't seen a voting poll that I've lost yet. I won on caffeine.
I had you 2-1, man. I had you 2-1.
Let's talk battle rap.
Yeah, I had you 2-1.
Let's talk battle rap. Had me 3-0. You had me 2-1.
Yeah.
I don't mind that he feels like JC gave him, I guess, more of a fight. Especially if he feels like he was up 2-0 going into the third, then obviously he probably feels like JC was more of a fight. But I
had Klutz beating JC though. I had him beating JC.
This is the difference with my pen, man. Like,
yeah, your pen is
I do a lot so much that in the room, you can think you're up 2-0 and be down 0-2.
That heated seated lines, yo, woo!
And I'm telling you, like niggas can sleep all they want. I tell people I'm the best pen in the world.
Mm.
And I know I'm no longer scared to say that. I'm the best. I am the best pen in battle rap. I am also the best pen in battle rap history.
Wow! Woo! Talking heavy, Chip.
Also,
I
am, and it is when it comes to penmanship, there's nothing I can't do. I do everything at a top 10 level, or everything. Angles. Look at my third verse Klutz.
Okay.
Top 10. Schemes, number 1 for a decade. Punches, top 10. Counterwriting, number 1. I do everything at a high level. Nobody else that y'all consider a pen when it comes to scheming, punching, angles, and counterwriting can say that they are clearly top 10 or number 1 in more than one category. I'm the best pen that's ever did it.
Wow. Who do you want next? Or do you even want anybody?
I don't have a hit list at this point.
Yeah, you're a veteran, man.
They'll call me when they call me, man. I'm just running my school. I'm just being a professor. That's all I'm doing, man.
You and King Los. Does that make sense?
Yeah, good. If I did a blue room, I think me and Los would be incredible. Me and Los would be incredible if I did a blue room. Yeah, that's a phenomenal battle. Yeah, I got a lot of love and respect for Los, man.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Los actually pulled up to the school last month, and he was incredible for the students. But just the way his mind works is he's an alien. He's an alien. And if he had as much time as we had in this game to learn and adjust, he'd be a top 5 pen of all time for sure.
Wow,
he's incredible.
All right, Chilla, I appreciate you pulling up on me, and explaining. That's all people on social media. I'm like, man, they really coming out. I didn't think it was gonna come at you like that, but I was like, wow. Whoa.
It's crazy 3. Like I woke up and the clip from the third is on Twitter, like going viral. Like every time I refresh it, it's like it's got to be over 300,000 views in like 12 hours right now. So people just keep commenting and keep tagging me. And so if I pull out my phone and check right now, it's probably like 40 or 50 mentions of people being like, "Oh, I hate this angle. Oh, you're scum. Oh, you're," and I'm just like, okay.
What did your peers say? What did your peers?
They love it. They love it. I said, "Yo, T-Top, you think I went too far?" He said, "Nah, I had you 3-0. I thought the angle was masterful." I said, "Yo, Hollow, what you think about this?" He said, "I like Klutz. I thought you won the battle. I thought that angle was well done." Real deal. Marv, what you think? Trez, what you? None of my peers, with the exception, I heard Twerk said something like if somebody did that to him, he would feel away, and I don't mind that. Twerk is Twerk, but like even when I spoke to Twerk at the venue, he was like, "Yo, you a bad man." Like,
No. You know what part that I grimace a little bit at is I think when you said you made a mention about your girl passing away.
I said I've been in love before, and
right.
If my girl died, it would make my heart frail. You used it to gain favor with a crowd. You a smart male. You said you can't stand to hear Tay-Rock seatbelt bar, but here's where that bar fails. Because a couple months ago you tweeted you got a new job in car sales. So like how you gonna tell us you can't stand to hear Tay-Rock talk about seatbelts? And you selling cars and seatbelts all day. For me it's a contradiction, and for me it makes me question how genuine the original angle was, right? That's what I was trying to relate to the fans. Like, you gotta pay attention to stuff like this. Somebody tells you, I can't stand to talk about cars, then how can you sell cars? I wouldn't even look for a job in car sales. I wouldn't even take it because it would be too painful.
Wow.
But that's me. That's
right.
not, that's not everybody, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, that was the case that I was trying to make. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I didn't mean to upset anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's battle rap. It is what it is. Salute to Klutz. Klutz was a super good sport about it. Super respectful. Like I said, I spoke to him privately. I apologize if he felt the way, and I think it was good. So,
all right.
That's where we at with it.
Chilla, I appreciate you, King.
Thank you, brother. As always, man. Thank you for having me, 3.
My guy.
Yes, sir.